Hi everybody. Yeah, if you don't know Dr. TPS, Dr. TPS is a very big name in South India. He works with, he's an educationist. He was a space scientist, and he has been working on this. He works, on Matra Shakti. I think he's the right one to talk about. He's got a big credential. If I start, it's not going to end. But that's great that he's also here. So, taking the flow forward, I think Dr. TPS, I think what is your perspective? How do you think we should go about it? Please share your thoughts, please.
Best thing to be identify who are all the speakers who will do on different aspects. Now assume somebody is talking about the just now talked about the capitalistic or may the business options or look at GDP the way you are talking. I wanted to say that it's a national asset. A good mother is a national asset. So how the culture will form, how the value system is governed, how the generations take this forward. Maybe somebody could compare between the joint family to nuclear family what we lost. The education system we have. I don't know whether Mona is aware. Uh, I have 4 books on Grandma Childcare Shiksha Gurukulam, which talks about how a grandmother has to take care of children from age 3 to grade 3. If that is the time when their social skill development, social interaction, value systems, everything becomes stronger.
Absolutely.
The other day I was talking to a family and the 2 kids, the mother is talking and asking the kids to ask some questions to me. They have no questions. I was asking them to look at Dr. TPS, Pakistan. You will see lot of children come and interview me. Young children from class grade 3 to a shopkeeper, house mother who is taking care of children and doing nothing. They can't speak English, they can't speak Hindi, only Urdu. They also interview me. They all have what is called the interest in learning what others are doing in the world. Today, our generation in India have no interest. The Z Alpha generation lost interest in most of the things. So we are going to be in a big problem because the value system is lost, culture is lost, wisdom is lost, learning ability is lost. They are only thinking about making money and then how to spend it for making short-term happiness.
Correct. Absolutely.
This is a big problem. Therefore, if you look at Kerala is highly educated, but the maximum number of drug addicts are in the school level. In most of the best schools, there are a lot of drugs. That is basically because the value system, the wisdom, the concept of joint family, everything is lost.
Absolutely.
Understood. Wherever I have got such a counseling requirement from Kerala, if I look at it, mother is working, father is working, and nobody is there to look after them. That is where they get into these problems.
Absolutely.
So I think we have a great role to play to look at what can be done. The biggest, second biggest, or third biggest business in India is early childhood education, and which we are following the stupid Western system even now.
Agreed.
I must have spoke to more than 1 million of teachers in the world. I kept asking, Baba Black Sheep, why you are teaching in the schools now? They have no reason. Why London Bridge has not fallen down for last 400 years? Still it is falling down. Why Tingle Tingle Little Star we have to teach? We have no reason for all this. And new education policy have referred to a stupid country.
Correct.
And Delhi government has sent teachers to that country to learn education. You can imagine the India's pathetic situation.
Yeah.
So
That's clearly
we have to create a brigade of teachers, and teachers, all the early childhood teachers are ladies.
So I would actually like to add to what you're saying. This is like completely spot on. Government school teachers. So I've had the misfortune of actually evaluating and speaking to these candidates who are prepared for government jobs.
Yes, the focus is there. Yes, Dr. TPS, I think you want to talk about something.
You are talking about a global problem.
Yeah.
If I go to different schools and ask only one few questions to the teachers when I go for teachers training program. Tell me those teachers, how many of you know 10 countries and capitals? Hardly I see one or two people.
Hmm.
If I see two, it's a great school. That's what I say. And it's they don't even know any other country than India to name a capital.
Up north, they won't even know that Chennai is a part of India. By the way,
Part of
right?
India.
Yeah.
See, imagine I've also done, given an Indian map and asked them to show where Bombay is, where Delhi is, they get confused. And they're all teachers who are teaching in the high school level. They say, I'm biology. It doesn't matter whether you're biology or social science. All are same.
Oof, the amount of transdisciplinary
This
knowledge
is
is.
this is that is why I keep saying all government schools. Just now, you were mentioning government school status. No, government schools are for
Yeah.
teachers because they get a status and a salary, and private schools are for parents to dump their children and make all the blame to those schools. We don't have schools for
You
students.
know, every time I've researched on content to find out who were those people who gained the highest order of education and changed the world, how many examples I find? Zero. Everybody who's ever changed the world has been a school dropout.
And and the biggest problem in India today is there are fake awards, fake degrees, fake. You will see advertisement paying 10,000 rupees. The greatest teacher of the world award is given to somebody with a unknown company or unknown unit of.
Hmm.
They say NGO, they say club, they say something, and everybody keeps lot of awards. I scold principals when I go to the schools asking them, showing all the awards behind. I said teacher is a teacher only when they keep books
Yeah,
behind, not
brilliant,
awards.
brilliant.
I have scolded principals saying that no, I am only seeing competition behind you, which says awards and rewards, and all these are paid awards. I
Yeah.
know nothing is merit oriented, and not even a single textbook or single reference book behind you, and this is what the children are seeing. And you take all the principals in CBSE schools, 90% are ladies,
Hmm.
na?
Yeah, yeah.
And they are the people who are running. So education institution is run by ladies in this country. And primary education, the whole world is like that. But education, as per se, even in higher education, you will see only ladies. I think cleaning up is essential from this part so that tomorrow's generation will have a concern. Like we are concerned. That's why we are
Yeah.
discussing. I am sure after 10 years, this concern also will be lost.
So, not 10 years. In another 2, 3 years, teachers are becoming irrelevant, thankfully. So we've not done
Yeah,
a good
that is
job.
why I keep saying we don't talk about 21st century
Yeah.
education. I talk about all my books are authored with an extra word called 321 world, third decade of 21st century. If I can do in next 5 years something, I am great. I can't even think after 5 years. Irreparable.
True.
Actually, the state is so bad. Even I agree.
You know what, Mona? I'm thinking that tomorrow, let's not keep it structured. Let's actually invite some of our key people and just share the perspective on from where you stand. So maybe that is something that we can do. So let's say I talk about what is the bigger picture and how are we narrowing down in this context. And Dr. TPS can actually come in from a more traditional, or not even traditional, the more humanistic way of learning and functioning. I think you can possibly refer to that aspect of how do we attribute more dignity. So it is not even about that women are teachers. The point is you could be a man, a woman, a third gender, but what are you willing to share with the next generation? What is your experience? What is your understanding?
Absolutely. The whole capitalistic thinking is like we are servicing humankind. When in fact, that is, yeah.
And it's more dangerous in this scenario if you look at it, look at the world leaders. They're all personal people who are running the world today. It is not party, it is not policy, it is not function, it is not any system. It is only people.
Yeah.
If America takes decision, it's only one person. If India takes decision, it's only one person. It's going to be anarchy
It is.
system which is most dangerous. Therefore everyone become irrelevant in this world. I was part of government with the prime minister's office, but from that 2009 to 17 years now I am seeing a drastic difference. No roles
Correct.
for anybody. This is going to be more dangerous. Knowing this in the system, everyone knows this, and if they start thinking about it now, people will get worried. Lucky that none of them are thinking in
No,
this
because
lens.
we were actually rendered I call this intellectual stupor. Today's time is an intellectual stupor, collective freaking intellectual stupor. We do not have the range
So
or the
let
courage to step up and say, I claim more wisdom in the name of my life and my future. That spirit is not there. We've been reduced to just being, stuck in our phones and talking in hieroglyphics like emojis, So the expression, the articulation, the ability and the desire to articulate thought, feeling, emotion into language for better communication is a lost art. It's a lost function of being human at all.
that is why I keep saying even my own perspective of any world system is not my perspective actually. It's all what media says. I grab it and then make it as mine. So we don't have to have any conference. We should have unconferencing discussions.
This is the second order, right? This is second order cybernetics.
Yeah, we should have unconferencing on issues, and we should have freedom, and we should have courage. If these three things exist, I am sure the world will grow. We had a system in India where the critics were given the Rishi Padavi. Charvaka was one of the best critic, and he is considered as the supreme sannyasi, maharshi, advisor for the country. Today critics are thrown away. We don't have opposition at all. Criticism is considered as bad. It is not criticism. In Bharatiya Shastram, criticism is not finding fault. It is nirupanam, making good shape. So unless we start shape the better one by giving suggestions, the English translation is wrong. Nirupanam is the word. Nirupanam is the rupam has to be made beautiful. Rupam rupa vivarjitasya bhavado. Wherever there is a rupam dislocation happened, I must tell that this is where it is wrong. You correct it so that the good shape will come out. That is lost in today's paradigm. That is where we are supposed to say yes or no only.
So I was having a very interesting discussion this morning about second order cybernetics. That how the observing the observer is actually the second order of defining systems. All right, you'll be happy to know that my response was, oh, the pain of constantly starting from here in everything and with everyone, attributing the short rangedness to the deficiency of their own shaping. I become them to discover what I am not.
That's it.
Right? So when the more you engage, the more you discover the system, the more you discover what you are not and what you should be and what you can be. But that being said, I think 3 या 4 हम लोग head statements decide कर लेते हैं. And under that, let's have our people organized. And I think we are all free flowing, and spontaneous. So let's ride with that. And after every section, let's keep about 5 minutes for binding and reflection. Right? So you're
I think everybody should not make statements. They should have some questions. Best thing is to have everybody end with at least a few two, three
Lovely.
questions.
Yeah. That's the good view. Yeah, the art is to ask the question.
Ask the questions and get answers from them. Actually, that's the best part, is to engage people rather than we speaking. We always speak. What is there new? I have
We make
I've spoken
statements,
so many times. I just don't want to
answer for
speak.
everything
Okay.
without any
I think
question.
that
That's
is
the
a very
problem.
good idea. Let's ask questions. Let people come, and I've sent it across to a lot of people. I hope they turn up, and let's ask question to people. Antara, I'd like to know your views. You're listening to
Kind
us.
of hijacked the conversation. Sorry.
Right, that's okay.
It's an interesting topic what you are kind of performing or going to get engaged tomorrow for this. Maybe I'm just trying to get a hang of it. But what Sir just said right now, I could relate a little bit. Maybe one point to start on those lines can be how to create that awareness. Most of the people are not aware of it. So whatever you just said, can you just, I mean, just in one line, just give the crux. You were talking about courage, wisdom, and things. So why not to have this kind of an because the understanding is missing with the people with the age group we are in. Most of the women are not aware of lot of things. So in that TG, that awareness is important, and then empowering them. Just
Antara,
I'm so
you're
sorry.
gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, call came. I have to just disconnect. Yeah. So it's like awareness and empowering the audience, and then connecting with the lines of having that courageous stand, bold stand to take it ahead. This is the only thing which I could connect that it was missing. But I'll try to add on my points once you will share things on the group and take the floor from you.
Something like things to do, like after every section, we give them a recommendation or something that this is possibly a thing to practice or something. Is that what you mean, Ansuran? A takeaway.
I'm just trying to understand the structure of what the
I think
narration
trying to
is.
build it. We're building that right now.
I think we can go with starting with the opening invocation, and then let's talk about the what exactly is unpaid work. We can get people to we can ask the question, what is that? What was the central question that we had? Is there was this? I think there was this one question that we had kept. Just a second. Yeah. This is the first question. We worship a feminine power, but do we recognize the real work mothers do every day? We can ask this question and engage people on what exactly is the real work mothers do every day, and they can come up with the answers. So I can start with that, and then you can take care of the how it fueled families, economies, nations. That is the section one. Example from everyday life. That can be your section. Then Dr. TPS, you can take about the respect and recognition, because when we I think you know about so much about Bhagavad Gita, you can relate that to how values, when we talk about respect and recognition, respect is also a kind of a value that we the respect of a mother that percolates down to the children, because when the mother is respected, that's what they see and learn, and that is how they learn respect as a value also. Otherwise, how would they get to know what exactly is respect? Because if they don't see their mothers being respected, how would they learn what respect is? So, taking that forward in terms of the value, yeah, and yeah, sorry.
See, most of the domestic violences happens because
Hmm.
husband drinks and beats the wife. Throughout India, that's a scenario. So I was talking somewhere I was telling, make sure the bar liquor is supplied only to women but not to gentlemen. Men cannot buy liquor.
So yeah. So, I mean,
Correct.
we've actually given
Understood.
the rights and duties, incorrectly to each other.
That's what I'm saying. So the control goes to the women. What we need is an open. See, the motherhood is the open motherhood, open-ended motherhood. Probably that is where the freedom and courage,
Correct.
comes. It cannot be with the values, wisdom, all
True.
this
Can you
blah blah
explain
blah
that?
will
I
not
did
work.
not get it. You will have to explain
Why
that.
we have rationing? Why we have rationing by government to control? Correct. So you have to control in such a fashion where the control goes to the real person.
Because
Then
she
only
has
it
to run the
works.
household. Okay. Yeah.
No, not. I don't think
Yeah.
we need
Yeah.
even the questions.
Correct.
We need the technical terms. No. like woman forced silence, the open motherhood, the value system. Like take some
I'm just
terminologies and
putting
then
this
put
in the
it. I'm
message
sure people
this
can
thing. इसी
respond
तरीके
to
से
that.
let's just define our
Can you come again, Dr. TPS? Open? Can you come again, Dr. TPS?
See, see the open motherhood. What you talk?
Open-minded.
No, open-minded motherhood.
Can you elaborate on this? I
Open-minded
wanted to
motherhood can be
understand this
one
concept a little.
terminology.
Can you elaborate on this? I wanted to understand this concept a little.
See, in the today's there is a traditional. Just now we are talking about the traditional and the changing values, right? See, there is a force from the Indian knowledge system or maybe the traditional people. This is how a mother has to be. So people don't have that open-minded motherhoodness now. That is why most of the ladies say that no, I don't
Actually,
want to become a mother.
yeah. Yeah,
See,
the
why
picture of
generation
mother
is
being that the
that is
deity
because
which we have put on the pedestal is like impossible to reach. And you very rightly, if you can break that and become
yeah.
make mother as a normal human being, which is
No, not mother as a biological mother. The motherhoodness what we think
yeah,
has to become an
open-minded mother.
open-minded motherhoodness.
Yes. Open-minded mother.
Motherhood, yeah. And now the most of the problem is not the money which they don't have. People have money, but now how many ladies can speak on the way they wanted, that freedom to express? No, that means how do we talk about the silence? The biggest punishment is sometimes silence. Correct. That is traditionally there. Even today it is there. So, do you have the freedom to speak, the freedom to express? If that is not protected, how is it going to be?
Absolutely.
You cannot play the roles.
Absolutely. If you do not have the right to express yourself.
That rich to poor, it makes a lot of difference. You can see wherever either you go for a high-fi party, also we can see silence is one which is no. Most of the time, what happens is you keep quiet. No, I'll speak. That sort of a thing. So you are not supposed to speak at different places. That's all.
So Mona, for now, I've
one
just
of the
defined at
biggest
least
problem, I
my
think.
bit, what I want to talk about, the spectrum I want to cover. Dr. TP has mentioned the open-minded motherhood, and then this is how we
Okay. Sure.
that's a dead giveaway of the situation.
Done.
I think
And they're
the
the worst
biggest
kinds.
industry in India is politics, and which women are very less.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm
So
talking
I
about
think
GDP related है ना ये भाई GDP आपको किन चीजों से कैलकुलेट होता है ये सेक्टर्स हैं जो मैक्सिमम कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं GDP कैलकुलेशन so that's how
2 minutes.
See, Lok Sabha and
दो
Rajya
minute.
Sabha, it's only less than
ठीक है Mona has
15%,
I
right?
think Aarti, we will formulate the question. Whatever I have understood, I'll share with you. You will just add to that, and we'll keep it informal and open. Let people come in, and I've sent the mails also. If they, Dr. TPS, just send it in your groups also, and everybody please share it across so that we get a good, attendance. Then we can have a good discussion.
I've invited
I think that would be.
And
no.
you have Zoom
Sorry?
license, same Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have Zoom
That's what
unlimited time,
Yeah,
right?
that is what I'm talking on. We are on
The same,
that.
same.
So I'll just send that WhatsApp message to you again. Just share it across.
We are still stuck in the decisions that
And-
the
and the-
post-industrial
and the pit-
actually a post-industrial trauma hai pura. Because the pre-industrial times when scaling wasn't the mantra of existence or business or trade,
Life was easier. Everybody is talking about reaching the stars and the Mars, but they're not talking.
And the pittiest part is we never include as part of the nature. We say we and the
0.01%.
nature. We see them separate.
0.01%.
Yeah. And we
It's
are
like we
separate.
own the
Nature is somewhere
nature.
else.
It's like
वो anthropic principle है ना that is the anthropic
Yeah, we
principle
own the nature.
जो ले डूबा है पूरी दुनिया को generationally that is the anthropic principle जो ले डूबा है पूरी दुनिया को
126 crores of different flies, different creatures created, and the Brahma became Taihi, become tired and tired, created one with a greater intelligence. That's what the Veda says.
That too.
And they became
Okay,
the most
wonderful
useless
discussion. Thank you
people.
so much. I've got to bounce out, but I think, yeah. Okay, wonderful discussion. Thank you so much. I've got to bounce
Yeah.
out.
I
Thank
think
you
we
so
learned
much,
we
everyone.
learned more
Yeah.
today. Probably
Questions,
we learn
and
less tomorrow.
yeah, I think we'll play it by ear tomorrow, and I think we're pretty good with that one. So
I think, yeah, let's keep it.
ear tomorrow, and I think we're pretty good with that one.
I recorded this. I recorded this. If possibly, probably
Sorry, come again,
I can
Dr.
publish and
DPS?
send it to you, Mona. YouTube.
Okay.
Today
I
is the
even
whole
have
thing I have
recorded
recorded.
it
I'm
on the
saying
computer.
discussion.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And so what I'll do, I'll put the questions, I'll put the agenda, and I'll put the questions, and I'll bounce it all to Aarti, and Dr. TPS, and then I'll put it in the group. I think that's good to go then. I'll keep it more unstructured. There is nothing which I've not talked, or I don't want to talk also because I've spoken so much. I keep doing this, that, post this, that. So I'll just ask all of you, please go ahead, speak, and I'll put questions to all of you. Okay? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
we'll
Take
see you
care.
tomorrow.
Take care. Bye.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. Take care.